there's two other.
My question is, you were talking about up north and the problems with family care. Are the same problems happening with Iris?
We have not, no, not with Iris. We have not received a large amount of calls with that. It's been primarily family care.
I think more parents, Iris is very difficult to understand. I've
Right.
talked on a lot of workshops, and the big problem there is with transportation. I mean, to send my son here, it's $100 a day. I mean, that's a big problem,
Yeah.
the transportation.
One of the things I found with Iris, being a relative newbie, is there's a lot of turnover with the staff.
The consultants or?
Yes, the consultants. We've had 3 of them in about a year and a half. And it's very difficult. In fact, they actually give you candidates that are, we live in Milwaukee County, they're like from Green Bay. So that's the choices. And if you don't choose one, they will choose one for you.
Really?
Tom, you mentioned a couple times tonight that there's probably areas that we would disagree. It's good to have discussion, but there's probably areas that we disagree. I don't know anything about the position of DRW. Could you give me an example of a couple of things that you might disagree with an opportunities model?
One of the, I think the sticking points, and I think that's probably why RFW pulled out of Survival Coalition, the direction of Survival Coalition was the stance on center-based programs and the concern related to that in terms of the wage and just the productivity, if you will. And, you know, are individuals getting choices, you know, and, you know, we heard, and this is not related to Opportunities Inc., but from when we talk about the choice option with the center-based programs, you know, when we say, so what choices are given and how is that presented? The response is, well, we ask the individual, do you like your job? And they say yes. And do you like your friends? Yes. And that's their choice. And so when we talk about, and so those are some of the common things that we hear from individuals talking about the center-based programs. And when we're talking about choice, we're talking about the full array of choices. And so that's one area I think that you'll see some disagreement on, and a lot of the Survival Coalition members are looking at, you know, closing center-based programs and really advocating for, you know, downsizing and different things, which really puts us and other groups in a position of, you know, it's all about choice, and, you know, we advocate for choice. We want to make sure people have choices. So, you know, to me, a choice is not do you like your friends, and yes, then that's, you were given a choice to stay or go. A choice is, you know, you have this, you have this, you have this, and you have this. All of these opportunities. And so I think that's one area, and I'm right that you think that we would disagree.
I would totally agree with you. I would totally
Really?
I would totally agree that actually the market of quality program is being able to offer choices in a reasonable manner and having a full set of informed choices.
So that would not be a disagreement.
No, not that in particular. I think choice is something we agree on.
Right.
And I think the way you present choice is important. I mean, there are choice-making protocols that go way back. And I remember when I was working in Illinois, I was with the Planning Council on Developmental Disabilities, a sister agency for protection and advocacy agency there in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we worked on choice-making protocols back then. We wrote a book on choice, how to make choices.
But I guess that's my question, because I don't know what, with the program, talking about opportunities, is the only one I know anything about. What about opportunities model would be a disagreement with what DRW is trying to do?
You know, I think, and you're looking at it from the whole standpoint of the center-based programs, that would, in making sure that people are paid a meaningful wage. I think that would be an area, and that's certainly something our National Association came out and really strongly advocated for, and really looking at the wages people are receiving. Is it meaningful? Is it comparable? Is it, you know,
Meaningful or minimal? Like minimum wage or meaningful wage?
meaningful? And I mean meaningful in the sense of, you know, is it, do you know, is it enough to live on, or is it just paying somebody to be there? Those types of issues, I think that we would kind of disagree with. But I think, like I said, too often we focus on negative of it. And I think we need to get past that and say, it is what it is. We're not going to change, for individuals who've been in the programs for many, many years, we're not going to change that. I think,
It seems like what you're saying is you're recognizing center-based employment is a choice, then, right? A valid choice. You're out for choices, so this would be a valid choice here.
And I think that's the huge struggle that the disability community is facing. We long advocate for choice along with everybody else. And, if the choices are presented and an individual chooses this particular program or community or whatever, it's their choice. So who are we to
Because, we've all been hearing this, that there's a certain advocacy of doing away with center-based employment. Well, that seems like that eliminates a choice.